Hey guys, welcome back to another Mythic item guide for the Elder Scrolls Online. Today we're going to be seeking out the Oakensoul Ring. This guide assumes that you've already unlocked ESO's Antiquities system and reached at least level 7 on your Scrying and Excavating skills. If you haven't done that yet or you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a link to my Scrying and Excavating guide in this video's description. Check out that video first and come back here when you're ready. The Oakensoul Ring is one of the most popular mythic items to date, and it is a must-have for anyone looking to run a 1-bar build. In exchange for locking the player out of swapping to a second weapon, they will gain the following buffs: Minor Berserk, Minor Courage, Major Brutality, Major Sorcery, Major Prophecy, Major Savagery, Minor Force, Minor Protection, Major Resolve, Minor Mending, Minor Fortitude, Minor Intellect, Minor Endurance, Minor Heroism, Minor Slayer, Minor Aegis, and Empower. Anyway, in this video, I'll be going over each of the 5 leads and how to get them. Quick tip, before you start seeking out a specific lead, always be sure to check your active leads to make sure you haven't already acquired it. Some leads are easily picked up in passing, and you don't want to waste time trying to get a lead to drop if you already have it. I may or may not be speaking from experience here. Starting off, we have the Igneous Inlays. This lead is obtained by completing the Volcanic Vent overworld events in the High Isle and Aminos zone. These are the High Isle chapter's version of Dark Anchors and can be identified by these icons. In my experience, there's usually a group of players farming these locations, and they will most likely be swarming whichever current vent is active, meaning the fight should go by quickly. If you don't see many players around, these will probably take a lot longer to farm, so grabbing a few friends or random players would be a great idea. I would also recommend discovering the way shrines closest to each of the vents first to make things easier when traveling to the next active vent. Keep doing these events until you get the lead to drop. It will be in the volcanic cache at the end of one of the events. Up next is the Larimar Gems. For this lead, we're heading over to Stormhaven, specifically to Mud Crab Beach. The lead will drop from the world boss Titan Claw. You may have to camp in the location and kill the boss a few times to get it to drop. For me, it took about 8 or 9 kills before the lead actually dropped, so don't expect it to drop on the first try. As you can see here, I wasn't the only one going after this lead, so hopefully you'll have other players to help take the boss down quickly. Next, we'll head over to Murkmire to get the Petrified Oak Loop. This lead can drop from any safe box or thieves trove in the Murkmire zone. I would say the best way to go after this lead would be to break into buildings or houses and find these safe boxes. Thieves' Troves also drop them, but I had trouble finding a reliable source for Thieve Trove locations in Murkmire, so the safe boxes seem to be the most reliable way to get this lead. I'm not sure what the drop chance is for this lead, but I had it drop on the first safe box I looted, and it's a good thing too, because I was not very stealthy about it. Next, for the Sacred Resin lead, we're going to Malabal Tor to the Elias Ruins just outside of Velen Harbor. There seems to be conflicting information as to exactly how this lead drops. Some sources I found say to kill any enemy mobs near Velen Harbor, and other sources say that it can drop from any enemy in the entire zone. But I got it to drop here after maybe 15 minutes or so. The Sea Vipers respawn pretty quickly, and for me, the lead dropped off of a Sea Viper champion, so my recommendation here is to keep killing enemies in these ruins until it drops. Finally, the Stone Shank frame is the last lead we need to collect before we can start scrying. This lead is obtained by mining blacksmithing nodes in Glenumbra. It can drop from any blacksmithing node in the zone, so all you have to do is wander around mining everything you find until it drops. The Keen Eye Ore perk in the blacksmithing skill tree can be helpful for spotting nodes, and if you have any blacksmithing surveys in Glenumbra, these could come in handy for obtaining this lead more quickly. Remember when I mentioned you should check your active leads before you spend time trying to get it to drop? Well, I didn't do that, and I spent a frustrating amount of time mining before I realized it was already in my active leads. If you already have the lead, it will not drop again, so learn from my mistakes and always check your active leads first. Now that we've gathered all 5 leads, it's time to head over to the High Isle and Aminos zone and start scrying. This part will basically be the same for all 5 leads, and it might take a bit of time to complete depending on how long it takes to successfully scry and excavate each fragment. Having the way shrines already discovered will make things a lot easier during this process, and the more scrying and excavating perks you have, the easier this process will be. Once the last of the 5 antiquity fragments are completed, they will automatically be combined and the Oakensoul Ring will be added to your inventory. And there you have it. If you follow all the steps laid out in this guide, you will be the proud owner of a brand new Oakensoul Ring. Since mythic items are unlocked account-wide, if you want to use this ring on multiple characters, simply visit a transmute station to reconstruct it for use on additional characters. That's all I've got for this video. If you found this guide helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up or leave a comment below. Subscribe to my channel for more, and until next time, see ya!